What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I wanted to talk about a different side of credit cards that I normally don't talk about. I always talk about the positive side, the best side of credit cards, the best thing that you can get from credit cards. But I want to make sure that people are aware that credit cards can be bad as well. So it just all depends how you use credit cards. So this video is going to be all about how credit cards can ruin your life. Before I get into it, make sure you hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button on this video, and I do a giveaway every single week, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video so that you can hear all about that giveaway. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into it. So credit cards, like I said, I always talk about the positive side of credit cards. Credit cards are a great thing, and I've grown to love credit cards as much as, some of the bigger name YouTubers out there and a lot of the people that travel for free and that love travel hacking and all that stuff. I love credit cards. And there's two sides of credit cards. Actually, there's probably multiple sides of credit cards, but two sides that people look at. Is the positive side of things, people that should get credit cards, and the negative side of things, absolutely do not get credit cards. And I wanted to talk about that side of things because I'm Mr. Positive all the time. Get credit cards, make sure you know what you're spending your money on and get rewards for that spending, and save money, get discounts, all stuff like that. So I'm Mr. Positive, but here we go, switching sides, throwing up the horns, and not the Texas Longhorns. The devil side of things. I'm playing devil's advocate here. So I'm going to talk all about why credit cards can ruin your life. So the first way that credit cards can ruin your life is the obvious. It can create massive amounts of debt. I mean, massive amounts of debt. And when people think of getting a credit card, they always think of the positive side of things unless they hear Dave Ramsey speak or they watch this video. The negative side of things is the debt side of things, because debt can rack up very quick and you would never know that it's actually racking up that high because you feel like you're spending normally, but then you see all of this money in your account. And that's not the way you want to look at things, and you don't want to have all of this debt be a burden on your life. Because it's not only a burden on your life, it's a burden on your family's life, it's a burden on, your friend's life because you're always mentioning it to them. And it just stops you from being able to be your best self, if that makes sense. So when you go out and spend money at Target and use your credit card and you didn't even think of it, now the next day you think that you have $30 more or $60 more or $100 more in your bank account. But really you don't, because you spent $100 on your credit card. So I just really want you to understand that debt can be really bad for people. And there are so many people that suffer from debt, and it's some of the people you wouldn't even expect. I suffered from some form of debt, not as much as some of these other people that I see with $10,000 in debt, $20,000 in debt. And a lot of my debt is good debt. Obviously, my mortgage and school loans, which that's kind of iffy. But then I also would have credit card debt in the past, and now that has changed because I'm into credit cards and understanding exactly how to spend on credit cards. So everything has changed there. But you want to make sure that debt is not something that's just right in your near future. Don't let debt creep up on you, because it does. The second thing is that it forces you to overspend. It kind of ties into the second piece, because if you go to, let's say, Old Navy, or you go to a clothing store, you feel like, for some reason and mentally, and I know Dave Ramsey talks about this a lot, you feel like you have more money. It doesn't hurt you as much as taking physical cash and giving it to the cashier. It's more of, I'm swiping this and I'm going to pay it back later, so it's more of a loan, and now you think of it as, I have more money than I actually have. And you don't want to think that way. You really don't want to think that way. I thought that way in the beginning when I first used credit cards, not when I used my secured credit card, because I knew that was my money and it still hurt using it. But with credit cards, it's a different feeling. And Dave Ramsey talks about this a lot. That's something that I kind of agree, but then I don't agree if you actually are educated about credit cards, if you know about it, because it doesn't always hurt you. If you are educated, if you understand exactly what you need to do and budget. So overspending is a big piece that can absolutely ruin your life, because that overspending piece can get you into debt, which falls into the first piece. So you never want those two to be a combined thing. You never want them to be a separate thing. You just want them to be completely wiped out. Don't overspend and don't rack up debt. Another thing that credit cards can do is they can ruin your credit score. With all of this debt that you rack up and, not paying bills, if you don't pay your credit card, you drop in your credit score because you have a missed payment. You also have a large amount of credit card debt, so utilization is above 30%. So it can absolutely ruin your credit score. And I would say that a credit score is not solely based off of it, but a large majority is based off of credit card use. So your credit utilization, your missed payments, yes, it could fall into monthly payments with your loans and stuff, but more likely than not, you're going to be paying your credit card bill a lot more because you might have 2 credit cards or 3 credit cards or something like that. So it can ruin your score. And if it ruins your score, you won't be able to get any loans, car loans, you won't be able to get a mortgage, you won't be able to do the things that you want to do because this world functions around credit. And if you don't have the credit, you can't do what you want to do. And it's as simple as that. So credit cards can ruin your credit score if you do not know how to use it. That's what I want to make sure is the theme of this video. If you do not know how to use it, if you are not educated in understanding how to use credit cards, and I know I'm breaking everything down like this, then you really won't understand then you really will be in a tight spot because your credit score will be horrible, you will have a lot of debt, and then you'll also overspend. Obviously, that's why you have a lot of debt. So you want to avoid those 3 things. You want to really avoid ruining your credit score and ruining your life because your life is predicated on the credit score being a good credit score. Above 700. Let's leave it at that. It needs to be above 700, and if you drop that credit score down, it's just going to be detrimental to your life and success. And the last thing that I have on here, which is certainly not the last thing you need to think about, is the fact that it forces you to pay more interest than you do principal. So if you have a large amount of debt, let's say you have $10,000 and the interest rates on credit cards can be from 15% all the way up to 30%. I've seen close to 40%. I've seen high interest rates. So if you have a credit card like that, where you have $10,000 in debt and you have a 30% interest rate, you're going to be paying the minimum payment and paying so much in interest that you're basically never going to pay off that balance. It's going to take you like 250 years to pay off that balance, which you're not going to be alive. So it's going to take you a long time and you're just going to be paying interest for the rest of your life. You never want that to happen. So if you don't understand credit cards and you think, oh, I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube and I need to now get into credit cards, you need to study how to use a credit card. I have videos on that. I also have videos on like the basics of credit cards. I have videos on a lot of things that you need to know about. And there are a ton of other YouTubers that have videos as well. If I don't explain things as well, I will gladly refer you over to another YouTuber that may explain it a little bit better than me. But you need to understand how to use a credit card. I can't stress this enough because you don't want to be paying interest for the rest of your life. If you have a $25 payment and $20 of that is going to interest and $5 is going to principal, it's going to take you so long to pay off that $10,000 balance. Now, I know you're probably going to pay a little bit more if you have that high of a balance, but some credit cards, I mean, you can rack up a $5,000 balance and still have a $25 minimum payment just because they want you to pay interest for the rest of your life. And that's how it's going to go. And it's just going to be a burden on your life. So make sure that you understand these things. So those are the things that I have on this list. Now, how can you avoid doing these things? Now, what I always tell people is the first 2 pieces is more of a budgetary aspect to it. You need to understand your budget. Put all of your credit card statements, all of your activity on an Excel spreadsheet. Understand how much you spend, where you spend things. You could do it daily, you could do it monthly, but just know that you're spending extra money and you got to budget that into your budget. If you don't budget right now, I know it's painful to do. A lot of people don't like to do it, but I really recommend budgeting. And sometimes I miss months and sometimes I have bad months, but I always keep track of it so that I'm not getting into debt. I'm not overspending. So I always find a way to go back to my budget and find a way to track it and know what I spent money on so that I can recover from that the next month. So the first two pieces, you need to budget. That's how you stop overspending. That's how you stop debt. Now, also with your credit score, do not miss any payments. That's the biggest piece. If you miss one payment, then your credit score drops from 100 to 99%. That's a whole nother tier. So don't miss a single payment. It's just not good, because then you physically can't get back up to that 100%, because no matter what you do, you'll always be at 99.9, and you can round up if you want to, but it will always be at 99. So that's how things go. Also, keep your credit utilization down. Now, I understand if you have one credit card and you utilize that credit card to close to its maximum potential because you don't have any other credit cards, open up another credit card or increase your limit, because if you're paying off your bill every single month, they'll increase your limit, and you don't want any increase your limit fees. So watch out for that as well. But that's a way that you can stop credit cards from ruining your credit score. And the last piece is simple. Interest, you don't want to pay it. So pay off your balance every single month. Do not let any balance roll over, because any balance that rolls over, you're going to pay 15 to 30% in interest. Just make sure that doesn't happen at all. But that's my list, guys. That certainly is not it. You need to look at other things that can also impact your life when it comes to credit cards. So don't just take this list and say, if I do all this, then I'll be successful with credit cards. No, there are other things that are included in there. I just wanted to make this list short and as impactful as possible. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. And remember that I do a giveaway every single week. I give away 2 Amazon gift cards at the end of the week. If you want to check out that video, I'll have it in the cards. But all you have to do in order to enter that giveaway is just comment on at least one video for the week, like at least one video for the week, and also be subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you do all of those things, and you get 1 ticket in the hat. If you want multiple tickets, then just comment on multiple videos. But that's my video, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell. That really helps me out. So notification bell, if you want to, go ahead and click that. But that's it. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to have to get out of here. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.